King Solomon stands as a colossal figure in the tapestry of biblical history. His name resonates through millennia, echoing tales of unparalleled wisdom, unimaginable wealth, and a reign that left an indelible mark on the ancient world. Solomon's life, a captivating blend of grandeur and moral complexity, continues to fascinate theologians, historians, and enthusiasts alike. He is an enigma, a ruler who embodied both the heights of human achievement and the pitfalls of temptation. Born into a lineage marked by both divine favor and human fallibility, Solomon inherited a kingdom forged through conquest and yearning for lasting peace. As the son of King David, a legendary warrior king, Solomon was destined for greatness. Yet his story transcends the typical narrative of an heir apparent. Solomon's life offers a profound reflection on the nature of wisdom, the exercise of power, and the enduring relationship between humanity and the divine. In the annals of history, few figures have captivated the imagination as vividly as King Solomon. His story, as recounted in the biblical books of Kings and Chronicles, presents a captivating tapestry woven from threads of wisdom, wealth, power, and ultimately the frailty of even the most gifted individuals. This exploration delves into the life and times of King Solomon, dissecting the layers of his captivating narrative to unearth the timeless lessons concealed within. Solomon's reign, traditionally dated from 970 to 931 BCE, marked a period of unprecedented prosperity and cultural efflorescence for the Israelite kingdom. Under his astute leadership, Israel transitioned from a fledgling nation to a formidable power in the ancient Near East. The echoes of his accomplishments reverberate through time, immortalized in biblical narratives and corroborated by archaeological discoveries. Solomon's reign wasn't merely a gilded age of material wealth, it was an era that witnessed the blossoming of intellectual, spiritual, and artistic endeavors. Central to Solomon's legacy is the construction of the First Temple in Jerusalem, a monumental edifice that served as the epicenter of Jewish worship for centuries. This architectural marvel, a testament to Solomon's ambition and devotion, became a powerful symbol of God's presence among his chosen people. The temple's construction cemented Jerusalem's status not only as a political capital but also as a sacred city, a beacon of faith drawing pilgrims from far and wide. Beyond the temple's imposing presence, Solomon's reign was marked by a series of astute political maneuvers and strategic alliances. Recognizing the importance of diplomacy, he forged pacts with neighboring kingdoms, securing peace and fostering trade that brought untold riches to Israel. This era of peace and prosperity allowed the arts and sciences to flourish, establishing a cultural legacy that would shape Jewish identity for generations to come. However, Solomon's reign was not without its shadows. As his power and wealth grew, so too did his thirst for earthly pleasures. The biblical narrative recounts how Solomon, in his later years, strayed from the path of righteousness, allowing his heart to be swayed by foreign influences and succumbing to the allure of idolatry. This tragic downfall, a stark reminder of the ephemeral nature of human glory, serves as a cautionary tale about the corrupting influence of unchecked power. Despite the moral complexities that colored his later years, Solomon's legacy as a wise and influential ruler endures. His proverbs, collected in the biblical book bearing his name, continue to offer timeless guidance on matters of ethics, governance, and the human condition. These pithy sayings, imbued with profound insights into the nature of wisdom, justice, and the pursuit of a virtuous life, transcend their ancient origins to resonate with people across cultures and generations. King Solomon's story is a testament to the enduring power of human ingenuity, the complexities of leadership, and the ever-present tension between our capacity for both greatness and folly. His life, a captivating blend of triumph and tragedy, serves as a timeless reminder that true wisdom lies not merely in the acquisition of knowledge or power, but in the application of those gifts with righteousness, humility, and an unwavering commitment to the divine. Born into the lineage of King David, Solomon entered a world shaped by divine favor and power. David united a fractured kingdom, establishing Israel as a force in the ancient Near East. Yet his reign was marked by internal strife and moral failings. Solomon inherited this complex legacy, witnessing the burdens and blessings of power. Stories of David's exploits filled Solomon's childhood with awe and aspiration. He learned from David's mistakes, understanding the consequences of unchecked ambition. Solomon was the son of Bathsheba, whose beauty led David to commit adultery. This scandal cast a long shadow over Solomon's upbringing. The weight of expectation rested heavily upon his young shoulders. Yet Solomon possessed an innate wisdom, marking him for greatness. The transition of power in ancient Israel was tumultuous, marked by intrigue and rivalry. David's reign ended with conspiracies and rebellion. Adonijah proclaimed himself king, but God chose Solomon. Nathan ensured Solomon's succession. He alerted Bathsheba to the crisis. They reminded David of his promise. David reaffirmed Solomon as heir. Solomon was anointed king in Gihon. The ceremony symbolized divine favor. The people celebrated their new ruler. Solomon's ascension marked a new chapter. He inherited a united kingdom. Solomon faced the challenge of his father's legacy. Early in his reign, Solomon experienced a profound encounter with God, shaping his destiny as the wisest ruler. God appeared to Solomon in a dream, offering any gift he desired. Solomon requested wisdom instead of wealth or power. "Give your servant an understanding heart to judge your people," Solomon prayed. This humble request pleased God immensely. God granted his request, promising wisdom, riches, and honor. Solomon's wisdom became the hallmark of his reign. His reputation for wisdom spread far and wide. People from distant lands traveled to seek his counsel. Even the Queen of Sheba tested his knowledge. Upon ascending the throne, Solomon inherited a vulnerable kingdom. He consolidated power to secure his reign and ensure stability. Solomon swiftly dealt with threats, including executing Adonijah and Joab. He fortified borders and forged alliances, including marrying Pharaoh's daughter. These actions ushered in an era of peace and prosperity for Israel. With his kingdom secure and his authority firmly established, Solomon embarked on an ambitious program of construction, economic development, and cultural enrichment that would transform Israel into a beacon of prosperity and sophistication. The dawn of his reign held the promise of a golden age, a time of peace and abundance unparalleled in Israel's history. At the heart of Solomon's vision was the construction of the first temple in Jerusalem, a magnificent edifice intended to be the permanent dwelling place of the Ark of the Covenant, the sacred chest containing the 10 Commandments. The temple, a testament to Solomon's piety and his desire to honor God, would become the spiritual center of the Israelite nation, a place of pilgrimage and worship for generations to come. Beyond the temple, Solomon initiated a series of ambitious building projects that transformed the landscape of Israel. He constructed a magnificent palace for himself, a sprawling complex that showcased the finest craftsmanship and opulent materials. He fortified existing cities and established new ones, strategically located along trade routes and key defensive positions, further securing his kingdom and facilitating economic growth. Recognizing that true prosperity stemmed from economic stability and the free flow of goods and ideas, Solomon implemented policies designed to foster trade and commerce. He established trade relations with distant lands, including Tyre, Ophir, and Sheba, importing luxury goods like gold, silver, ivory, and precious stones. These exotic materials, once the exclusive domain of royalty, became more widely available, fueling a burgeoning artisan class and elevating the standard of living throughout the kingdom. King Solomon's wisdom transcends time and culture. His wisdom was a divine gift, granted by God in answer to his prayer. Solomon sought understanding to lead justly, valuing wisdom over wealth. God granted him unparalleled wisdom, making him a beacon of knowledge. Central to Solomon's legacy is the biblical book of Proverbs. This collection offers timeless guidance on ethics, morality, and personal conduct. Proverbs resonate across cultures, transcending time and circumstance. They cover wisdom, diligence, pride, and righteousness. Solomon's Proverbs offer practical advice for daily life. Perhaps the most famous example of Solomon's wisdom in action is the biblical account of his judgment in the case of two women who both claimed to be the mother of the same infant. This story, recounted in the Book of Kings, showcases Solomon's extraordinary ability to discern truth from falsehood, to see through deception, and to render a judgment that was both just and compassionate. Two women, both prostitutes, came before Solomon, each claiming that the living child presented to him was hers, and that the other woman's child had died during the night. With no witnesses and both women adamant in their claims, the case seemed impossible to resolve. Yet Solomon, with his divinely bestowed wisdom, devised a plan to uncover the truth, a plan that revealed not only his keen intellect but also his deep understanding of the human heart. Solomon called for a sword and declared that he would divide the living child in two, giving half to each woman. The true mother, horrified at the thought of her child being harmed, immediately renounced her claim, pleading with Solomon to spare the infant's life and give him to the other woman. The other woman, however, readily agreed to Solomon's proposal, revealing her indifference to the child's fate and exposing her lie. Solomon's judgment in this case became legendary, a testament to his ability to penetrate facades, expose deception, and render a verdict that upheld justice while demonstrating profound compassion for the innocent. The story continues to be told and retold throughout history, inspiring awe and admiration for the wise king whose discernment and understanding seemed to know no bounds. Solomon's wisdom extended far beyond resolving individual disputes. It permeated his approach to governance, shaping his policies, his interactions with foreign dignitaries, and his efforts to create a just and prosperous society for his people. His reign, marked by peace, stability, and unprecedented economic growth, stands as a testament to the practical application of wisdom in the realm of leadership. Recognizing that true justice stemmed from a deep understanding of the law and an unwavering commitment to fairness, Solomon established a system of courts and appointed judges known for their integrity and wisdom. He streamlined the administration of justice, ensuring that disputes were resolved efficiently and equitably, fostering a sense of security and trust among his people. His reign became synonymous with fairness and impartiality, a beacon of hope in a region often plagued by corruption and abuse of power. Solomon's wisdom also guided his foreign policy. He understood that maintaining peace and stability within his kingdom required skillful diplomacy and strategic alliances. Through a combination of shrewd negotiations, carefully arranged marriages, and mutually beneficial trade agreements, he secured Israel's borders, fostering an era of unprecedented peace and prosperity. Solomon's reign serves as a powerful example of how wisdom, when applied to governance, can transform a nation. His ability to balance strength with compassion, to temper justice with mercy, and to prioritize the well-being of his people above personal gain made him an exemplary ruler, one whose legacy continues to inspire leaders even today. The legacy of Solomon's wisdom extends far beyond the biblical narratives that chronicle his reign. His proverbs, his judgments, and his approach to governance continue to be studied and admired by scholars, theologians, and leaders across cultures and throughout history. His story serves as a timeless reminder that true wisdom is a gift to be cherished, cultivated, and applied diligently in all aspects of life. Solomon's emphasis on the pursuit of wisdom, his recognition of its intrinsic value above material wealth or worldly power, continues to resonate with those seeking a more meaningful and fulfilling existence. His proverbs, with their timeless insights into human nature and the human condition, offer guidance and inspiration to individuals navigating the complexities of life, reminding us that true happiness and fulfillment stem from living in accordance with wisdom's principles. Solomon's reign, though not without its flaws, stands as a testament to the transformative power of wisdom in action. His legacy serves as a beacon, illuminating the path towards a more just, compassionate, and enlightened world. A world where wisdom's guiding light leads us towards a brighter future. King Solomon's reign was marked by unparalleled architectural achievements, none more awe-inspiring than the construction of the first temple in Jerusalem. This monumental edifice, a beacon of faith and a testament to Solomon's devotion to God, would become the spiritual heart of the Israelite nation. The temple's construction was a colossal undertaking, requiring the labor of thousands and vast quantities of precious materials. The temple's design, as described in the biblical books, was both intricate and symbolic. Built according to a divine plan revealed to King David, it emphasized divine order and harmony. The temple's completion marked a pivotal moment in Israel's history, solidifying Jerusalem's status as a holy city. Solomon, adorned in his finest robes, offered sacrifices and led the people in prayer, dedicating the temple to God. While the first temple stood as the crowning jewel of Solomon's architectural achievements, his reign witnessed a flurry of building projects that transformed the landscape of Israel. From opulent palaces to fortified cities, Solomon's vision extended far beyond the temple walls, reflecting his ambition to create a kingdom that mirrored his own wisdom and prosperity. Solomon spared no expense in constructing a magnificent palace for himself, a sprawling complex that showcased the finest craftsmanship and the most luxurious materials available. The palace, which took 13 years to complete, was a testament to Solomon's wealth and his refined taste, featuring cedar wood imported from Lebanon, intricately carved ivory and gold leaf that shimmered in the sunlight. It served not only as a royal residence, but also as a center of government, a place where Solomon received foreign dignitaries, dispensed justice, and conducted the affairs of his kingdom. Beyond Jerusalem, Solomon fortified existing cities and established new ones, strategically located along trade routes and key defensive positions. Hazor, Megiddo, and Gaza, once modest settlements, were transformed into formidable fortresses, their walls reinforced, their gates sheathed in bronze, and their garrisons expanded with well-trained soldiers. These fortified cities served as bulwarks against invasion, protecting Solomon's kingdom and ensuring the safe passage of trade caravans along vital routes. Solomon's building projects were not merely displays of wealth or power, they were strategic investments in the future of his kingdom. By strengthening its defenses, improving its infrastructure, and creating a sense of grandeur and permanence, Solomon laid the foundation for a prosperous and enduring nation. King Solomon's reign was not only marked by architectural grandeur, but also by unprecedented economic prosperity. Recognizing that true wealth stemmed from more than just the accumulation of gold and silver, Solomon implemented a series of shrewd policies designed to foster trade, cultivate industry, and establish Israel as a dominant economic power in the ancient Near East. Central to Solomon's economic vision was the expansion of trade networks. He established diplomatic relations with distant lands, sending envoys to negotiate treaties and secure access to valuable resources. His most famous trade partner was Hiram, the king of Tyre, a Phoenician city renowned for its skilled sailors, shipbuilders, and access to the Mediterranean Sea. Hiram provided Solomon with cedar wood from Lebanon, a highly prized building material, in exchange for grain, olive oil, and wine from Israel's fertile lands. Solomon's trade extended far beyond the shores of the Mediterranean. He established a fleet of ships at Ezion-Geber, a port on the Red Sea, which sailed south to Ophir, a land renowned for its gold, silver, ivory, apes, and peacocks. These exotic goods, once the exclusive domain of royalty, flowed into Israel, enriching Solomon's treasury and fueling a burgeoning artisan class that transformed these raw materials into exquisite jewelry, furniture, and religious artifacts. Solomon's economic policies transformed Israel into a hub of international trade, a crossroads where merchants from across the ancient world converged to exchange goods, share ideas, and contribute to the kingdom's growing wealth. His reign became synonymous with abundance, a time when silver was as plentiful as stones in Jerusalem and cedarwood as common as sycamore trees in the foothills. The exact location of Ophir, the legendary land from which Solomon's ships returned laden with gold, silver, and exotic goods, remains a subject of debate among historians and archaeologists. Some scholars place it in Arabia, others in Africa, and still others in India. Regardless of its precise location, Ophir represents the vast reach of Solomon's trade networks and his ambition to connect Israel with the far corners of the known world. The journey to Ophir was long and perilous, taking approximately 3 years to complete. Solomon's ships, built with the assistance of Hiram's skilled shipbuilders, were marvels of their time, capable of navigating the treacherous waters of the Red Sea and the open ocean beyond. These voyages required meticulous planning, experienced sailors, and a deep understanding of winds, currents, and celestial navigation. The goods brought back from Ophir and other distant lands transformed the material culture of Israel. Gold and silver, once relatively scarce, became more widely available, used not only to adorn the temple and the royal palace, but also to create exquisite jewelry, ornaments, and household items for the elite. Ivory, prized for its beauty and durability, was carved into intricate statuettes, furniture inlays, and decorative panels. The influx of exotic animals, such as apes and peacocks, captured the imagination of the Israelites and served as a testament to Solomon's power and the reach of his influence. These creatures, previously unknown in Israel, were kept in royal menageries, where they could be admired by visitors, further enhancing Solomon's reputation as a wise and powerful ruler. Solomon's economic policies ushered in an era of unprecedented prosperity and abundance for Israel. The kingdom flourished under his rule, its treasury overflowing with gold and silver, its granaries bursting with grain, and its people enjoying a standard of living unmatched in their history. The streets of Jerusalem, once dusty and sparsely populated, bustled with activity as merchants hawked their wares, artisans practiced their crafts, and foreign dignitaries arrived with lavish gifts for the king. The influx of wealth from trade and tribute allowed Solomon to invest in infrastructure projects that further boosted the kingdom's prosperity. He improved roads and built new ones, connecting distant parts of the kingdom and facilitating the movement of goods and people. He constructed irrigation systems that transformed arid lands into fertile fields, increasing agricultural output and ensuring a steady food supply for the growing population. Solomon's reign became synonymous with a golden age, a time of peace, prosperity, and cultural efflorescence. The arts and sciences flourished as Solomon patronized musicians, poets, and scholars, creating a vibrant intellectual atmosphere at his court. The Israelites, enjoying the fruits of Solomon's wise rule, looked to the future with optimism and confidence, their kingdoms secure, their coffers full, and their king renowned throughout the land for his wisdom, his wealth, and his unwavering devotion to God. Despite his wisdom, Solomon succumbed to the temptations of power and affluence. His fascination with foreign cultures led to spiritual compromise and idolatry. Solomon's vast wealth enabled a lavish lifestyle and a large harem, introducing foreign religious practices. These marriages, meant for political alliances, led to spiritual erosion. Solomon built high places for foreign gods, compromising his faith. His story serves as a cautionary tale about the gradual erosion of faith through small compromises. Solomon's idolatry and tolerance of pagan practices had severe consequences. God declared that the kingdom would be torn from Solomon due to his unfaithfulness. Adversaries rose against Solomon, challenging his authority and stability. Internal strife and external threats weakened his once prosperous kingdom. Even Solomon's family faced turmoil, with Jeroboam prophesied to inherit part of the kingdom. Solomon's attempts to control the situation highlighted his inability to undo the consequences of his disobedience. Despite his failures, Solomon's story offers valuable lessons. God's faithfulness to his promises ensured the continuation of the Davidic line. Solomon's life reminds us that even the wisest are not immune to sin's temptations. His story highlights the importance of using our gifts for God's glory and others' well-being. Solomon's life underscores the need for lifelong faithfulness and vigilance against temptation. His contrast between early piety and later idolatry serves as a sobering reminder of true faithfulness. Solomon's story has been woven into literature for centuries, exploring themes of wisdom and power. His presence transcends time and genre, appearing in epic poems, philosophical treatises, and novels. The biblical book of Proverbs, attributed to Solomon, offers timeless guidance on various topics. Beyond the Bible, Solomon's story has been reimagined in countless works of fiction and non-fiction. In Western literature, Solomon appears as a symbol of wisdom and justice. His story continues to inspire writers, setting narratives against the backdrop of ancient Israel. King Solomon's image, often depicted as a bearded and regal figure adorned in opulent robes and a crown, has graced countless works of art throughout history. From ancient mosaics to Renaissance paintings, from stained glass windows to modern sculptures, artists have sought to capture the essence of Solomon's wisdom, power, and the dramatic arc of his life. These visual representations, often imbued with symbolism and religious significance, offer a glimpse into how different cultures and eras have interpreted Solomon's legacy, highlighting his enduring influence on the world of art. King Solomon's reign, a shimmering epoch in the annals of Israel, eventually drew to a close. After 4 decades on the throne, the weight of years caught up with him. The once vibrant ruler faded, leaving behind a complex legacy. Though his passing marked the end of an era, his legacy shaped the destiny of his people. The biblical account of Solomon's death is brief. He was buried in the city of his father, David. The absence of elaborate details does not diminish his significance. With Solomon gone, the kingdom began to fracture, leading to the eventual splitting of Israel into two kingdoms. Despite the turmoil, Solomon's legacy as a builder and diplomat endured. The First Temple stood as a testament to his vision and piety. The wealth he accumulated demonstrated the economic potential of a united Israel. Solomon's most enduring legacy is his wisdom. The proverbs attributed to him continue to be studied and cherished. His story serves as a reminder that true wisdom lies in the application of knowledge with righteousness and humility. Even today, millennia after his reign, King Solomon's story continues to resonate with us, offering valuable lessons about leadership, the seductive nature of power, and the enduring importance of seeking wisdom, justice, and righteousness above all else. Solomon's proverbs, with their concise and insightful observations on human nature, remain surprisingly relevant to the challenges we face in the 21st century. His words caution against the pitfalls of greed, pride, and laziness, while extolling the virtues of diligence, humility, and integrity. They remind us that true happiness and fulfillment are found in meaningful relationships, living with purpose and seeking wisdom in all our endeavors. In a world often characterized by uncertainty, Solomon's story offers a beacon of hope, reminding us that wisdom, justice, and righteousness are attainable goals that can transform our lives.